Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing one of the topic that is city creation. City creation basically we are discussing one of the topic that is the SBI account. Sorry, India account. India account basically we are discussing SBI account, Amazon account, and after 2 days basically the big earthquake is going to happen in India. So that is the topic. So that topic actually we are discussing. In this basically we have discussed lots of things. We have discussed lots of things. We have discussed lots of things. In this basically we have discussed that lava data basically is coming. Lava data basically is giving the data of 1,000 crore, 100 crore child. In that basically we have taken that basically that child is going to process this all data. That data is basically getting that data basically is coming from the far of the planets. Lots of things basically we have discussed. 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 In this basically we discussed that basically that any of the big person basically dies, his energy can do any type of damage basically. For example, Rajiv Gandhi died, so his energy, from his energy basically lots of big damages has happened basically. That are the natural energy basically, that are the natural damages which has happened basically. You will not able to believe that basically this type of thing also basically are connected. For example, VP Singh basically died. So when he has died, then basically that time basically lots of big disaster has happened basically. Lal Bahadur Shastri died basically. That time big disaster basically has happened basically. So each and every big personality basically dies. That time basically something big disaster basically happens. And this connects to natural disaster only. That connects to natural disaster. So one of the person told that, yeah, natural disaster basically actually it should damage the human creation disaster, but that is damaging the natural disaster. So what is basically logic behind this is what actually what is logic behind they connects to 1 lakh age people basically, and if the disaster basically has happened up to big level, then basically his age will be more big basically. So the creation basically has done like this basically. So somebody is basically the 1 lakh year age group basically want to create his creation in this world basically, and rest of creation basically he is finishing. So that's very dangerous basically. That's very dangerous. So one of the person told that anybody basically can track this basically. For example, Bollywood group basically somebody big personality is basically dying as in that basically. So where the effect is going to, but big personality, yeah, basically not small personality will not work basically. Big energy group basically. Same way in software industry, big energy group basically. Same way in army group also big energy. Same way in cyber industry, big group basically, big person basically. Same way in political, big personality basically. Same way in king family, big king basically. Big government employee basically. So whenever they basically are going to die and basically died, that second that not second basically, millisecond his souls basically connects to the natural disaster. Connects to the natural disaster. It's a huge natural disaster basically, I'm telling you. So one of the person told that the accidents which happens in the train, the bus accidents, these all are basically connected with the death of the person basically. So whenever the person is going to die, it directly connects to the natural disaster. In natural disaster, bus accidents, car accidents, then the sheep accidents, then the suddenly basically pool got down, then basically suddenly the road got down, suddenly the mountain basically got down, suddenly the river basically crosses its boundary. That means Mumbai water basically comes into the city. This whole thing basically when happens, na, basically just you have to understand that basically the some person basically has died and his soul's basically connected to that disaster. So one person told that if big number of people basically dies, then big disaster basically will happen. Then one of the person told that, do you have any energy basically? If that person will die, then entire universe will get effect. That type of people basically is there in this world basically, that if he will die, then the universe is going to get effect. So that is basically universe group basically, they basically keeps on checking basically whether this type of thing basically happens or not basically. So one of the person told them, really basically this is correct or we are basically just telling only basically. Then you check it na basically. For that basically you have to connect to human souls basically, and that you can't connect. Why? Because daily human body basically, human souls keeps on changing. So 6 crore body, 6 crore blood cells basically are there in human body. Daily, basically one human souls connects. So daily, one new human souls basically connect to his human body. So today my human souls is totally different. Yesterday, if I basically exist, then basically my human souls will be totally different. Next day, if I exist, then basically the human souls will be totally different. So that connects to the sequence of human souls. That means something basically in your body basically, that blood cells that is equal to human souls basically, that is creating something basically in your body basically, and that energy basically converts into the environment basically. So today, whole world human souls totally might be different basically. If your leg is spinning, head is spinning, eye is spinning, that means it's connected with that human souls basically. Somebody has activated that human souls, which is telling that basically you are going to get leg pain, you are going to get hand pain, you are going to get sometime basically that pains gets permanent basically, head pain, eye pain, head chakkar, ear pain. So one of the person told that, "Matlab, really this is here basically, or you are just telling like this only basically?" Because there are lots of R&D basically which is doing basically, and they are telling that basically we are tracking the human souls. But that you only, the people who created human basically, you can track your human souls only basically. For example, one big personality from Bollywood person basically died. Assume that basically, just taking as an example, big personality basically. So he died. So his human souls basically you can't track, but it will do the natural disaster basically. It will not do any private disaster. Private disaster means train will not get blast. But a few basically human souls do disaster of train also. Sometimes basically the train get comes out from the track basically. That basically how happens basically. Lots of people says that yeah, that basically might be the problem of power supply. But that power supply is connecting to some certain level of energy basically. Then only basically that is happening. Bus basically suddenly basically gets unstable basically. and it basically enters into mall, it enters into house, it enters into some garden, it enters into some lake. This type of thing basically happens. How basically that happens basically? This type of activity happens in the mountain area only basically. But in where the people basically are staying, there basically very less disaster basically happens. But there also sometimes happens basically. So another person told that the world basically has created up to what level here basically. Because you want to say that basically that disaster basically is happening, that is connecting to that planet creation basically. Exactly basically. So after death basically in that planet where basically his data has connected, that is this disaster basically. Because his next basically is moving to something next basically else in else planet basically. So that planet is connecting to that area basically you want to say, because Earth planet is created by crores of planet basically. So is it basically the planet's chain basically is ongoing? That is also possible basically, because you can't say anything basically. So one person basically dies, his human souls basically connects to some disaster, and basically if it is connecting to railway disaster, then basically that railway track basically which has created that basically video we have already saw basically long before basically we have saw that video. And what is that basically, that also we have discussed. So assume that basically whenever basically the earthquake basically is coming to India basically, that means some big personality basically has died in India basically. For example, he basically is died, he is basically from America, and he is basically big personality, but he has become American basically, but his birth basically has happened in India. So that earthquake basically is that, as in that basically that is connecting to earthquake disaster. So the earthquake is going to come to India only, whether he has basically age of 5,000 year, if he have the age of 10,000 year, if he basically have the age of 70,000 year, and he basically staying in America, but his birth basically has happened in India. So in India basically the big earthquake is going to happen. That is 100% basically. So if another person told that yeah basically what the really this is, or basically this just it like that only basically. Because your death basically are connected with that planet basically. So one of the person told that, but is it sure, or basically is it just fake and fake only? Fake and fake means just somebody is telling something and then basically that is basically happening, not happening, basically that basically we don't know. So here basically what we are discussing, big earthquake is going to happen in India. But really basically the big earthquake has happened basically in India. No, why? Because this is just virtual basically, virtual communication. That doesn't mean that the big earthquake is going to happen in India. That doesn't mean that big earthquake is going to happen in India. So one person told them basically, assume that basically big personality basically died of software industry basically. Assume that basically some big personality of software industry died basically. So up to what level disaster basically he is going to do in the nature basically, or basically he is going to do some disaster in private sector basically, where basically he is going to do the disaster. Is he going to going to do the disaster in SMS data? Because SMS data are also connected with the natural item basically. Source of the SMS is natural item basically. So one person told that from where this SMS data basically are getting found. That mountain you can see, yes, that is the source of SMS data basically. If the mountain basically gets earthquake, SMS system will not work basically. I'm telling you basically. SMS system basically which has created in the environment, that will not work. One person told that that mountain you can see that is connected with the mobile calling. So when the source of the mobile calling is happening from that mountain basically. One person told that the computer is getting on basically. That is getting on from that sea water basically, sea water area. If anything happens to that sea water area, your computer will not start basically. Your vehicles are getting on basically. How basically that is getting on? The source of the vehicle starting basically is connected to that natural disaster, natural item basically. So each item in this world basically, each and everything basically are connected with the natural items. So one person told that, do you have the list of that natural item? Because whenever that natural item is going to do disaster, that means that item basically which has connected with that natural item basically, natural disaster basically, sorry, natural area basically, that is going to react. So one person told that, "Yeah, this basically topic basically is going very dangerous basically. So how basically we can check basically? Few people basically told that basically we have called a cyber group basically. They will give you punishment basically. You are basically unnecessary telling each and everything. Basically. And for that basically we have created Facebook, we have created Twitter, we have created Gmail, we have created Google. But they are also connected with some physical area. Na, basically. After that basically they will go where basically? Where they will go basically? That is also a question basically. So one person told that, do you know basically Sunil, the Google basically Google website that is connected with that natural item basically. He told that basically which natural item? That Tamil Nadu basically you can see. Yes, basically I can see the Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu basically there is one jungle basically. In that jungle that is the source of the Google basically. Then the Google also basically was shocked basically. We also don't know this here basically. We also don't know why, because we don't know that basically from where our power supply are coming basically. Your power supplies basically are coming from one particular area basically. If you want to check this basically, then you can check basically from the power company. If that area basically that is in Tamil Nadu, that jungle area basically is going to affect basically, then your Google is going to affect basically. Your Google business is going to affect. Your Google servers are going to affect. If you want to check this, you must check actually this after this video basically. You must check basically because Microsoft is also connected with this only basically. If Microsoft business is going down, then this directly you have to contact to that natural item basically. That might be mountain, that can be sea area, that can be some particular land. Immediately you have to contact to that area basically. That what is the problem basically. So in next video basically we are going to see little bit more about this most dangerous topic.